Back again. Alright, now I'm going to review my favorite cop show of all time. It was released on DVD back in 2011, I believe, the complete series. Sony had actually released season 1 in 2006, and then they decided they weren't going to release anymore, but then they somehow reversed that, and they released season 2 in 2008, season 3 in 2009, and then nothing. Shout Factory picked up the rights to it and just put out a complete series. And the show I'm talking about is Barney Miller. This is one of my favorite cop shows of all time. Probably is my favorite cop show of all time. This is a 25 disc set. Contains all, I think, 168 episodes. And a slew, well, not really a slew of bonus features. All the bonus features are actually on the season 8 discs, which was the final season. This ran for 8 seasons from 1975, I think January of 75, until sometime about the middle of the year in 1982, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll go through the contents of this a little bit at a time. Alright, this is the season 1 and 2 disc. It's just a regular keep case, has the discs housed in it. So it has the New York skyline in the background, as you can somewhat see. Don't see the Twin Towers in this picture, but they were there some in some shots for the intro to the show. But they didn't really go all out on the DVD art. You can see season 1 is just made up of 2 discs. And that's Captain Barney Miller, of course, Hal Linden. Disc 2, same thing. Gregory Sierra, I think he played Detective Chiano. He's the same pictures on the cover of all 3 discs for season 2. Now, another thing of note, these discs are exactly the same as the Sony discs. They've just got different artwork on them. Because I had all 3 Sony sets, so the first 3 seasons are just redone. They're the exact same disc, have the same warnings, same everything on them as the original Sony releases. That's it for season 1 and season 2. Got an episode out on the back with the air date, which is kind of neat. Picture of Barney and Fish. Well, 2 pictures of Barney and Fish. I believe that's Wojciechowicz down here. No, it's not. That's actually Jack Sue's character. What was his name? Had it just a moment ago. Yamana made the worst coffee in the 12th precinct. Maybe the entire police force. And they all wore them big ties. But anyway, moving right along. This is the season 3 and 4 box. Once again, the big ties. You got Fish, Barney, Harris, Yamana, and Wojciechowicz. They called him Wojo. Once again, episode guide on the back. Aaron Harris and Yamana. Barney and what is that, Wojo? Yeah. Yep, that's Wojo. Let's get into the discs. Season 3, disc 1 has Harris on them. Well, all 3 discs have Harris on them. Ron Glass, he passed away late last year. Kind of sad. But yeah. And then these season 4 has Wojo or Wojciechowicz on the discs, all 3 discs. But I really liked Ron Glass. He was a good actor. Sadly missed. He was on a nerd show called Firefly and its follow-up movie Serenity. We lost Abe Vigoda too. Early this year. No. It was early last year. It was in January of last year that Abe Vigoda died. Jack Sue, he died in, it was like 77 or 78. It was actually during the run of the show. They'd done a special episode, I think, for him in the 6th season. Moving right along. Seasons 5 and 6. And you can see the cast is bigger and smaller at the same time. You got Yamana. I'm not sure what Ron Carey's name was. He's no longer with us either. Can't remember what his name is. There's Harris. Barney, of course. Al Linden, he's still around. Steve Landisberg played Dietrich. He's no longer with us either. Max Gale is Wojo. And once again, a episode guide. These are also in the little booklet that came with it, I'll get to in a minute. But you got Dietrich, and that's the inspector, and Barney. Dietrich right there. Let's see who's on these discs. Put Yamana on season 5. They put the inspector, I can't remember what his name was. Inspector Kluger or something like that. He's on season 6. But all these have the same background picture. In case you're wondering why I'm not showing that. Okay, moving right along. The final 2 seasons, 7 and 8. Once again, I can't remember what his name is. There's the inspector. It seems like it's Kluger or something like that. I don't know. Harris, played by Ron Glass. That's James Gregory, by the way, and Ron Carey. Steve Landisberg is Dietrich, and Al Linden is Barney, and Max Gale is Wojciechowicz. And got the episode guide there. They put Dietrich on season 7. Dietrich's my favorite character from the show. He's just hilarious. And they put Ron Carey on the final season, season 8. I do kind of wish that they had went with more artwork. You'll notice that Fish is absent from any of the disc artwork, and there was a reason for that. Fish was really only in the first 2 or 3 seasons of Barney Miller. I know it seems like he was there throughout the whole thing, but he wasn't. Actually left because he got his own TV series, which in this complete series of Barney Miller, they included season 1 of his own show, Fish. Season 1. It only ran for 2 seasons. I don't know why they couldn't have just went ahead and put both seasons in there. But those discs have Fish, and they're actually two different pictures. So they did have a little more imagination with that. And the back of it, it's an episode guide. This is included as like a bonus feature for Barney Miller, the complete series. And although the show's not that good, it's still nice to have that. Then you've got the book, Squad Room Detectives. And this booklet is like the door in the room, because on the back side it's backwards, Squad Room Detectives. But it's like the front and the back of the door. Of course, that window got broke out several times during the show for one reason or another. But it's a pretty comprehensive little book. Oh, here's our cast. Ron Carey played Officer Carl Levitt. James Gregory was Inspector Frank Luger. So yeah, Hal Linden was Captain Barney Miller. Abe Vigoda was Sergeant Phil Fish. Max Gale was Detective Stan Wojciechowicz. Ron Glass was Detective Ron Harris. Jack Sue was Detective Sergeant Nick Yamana. Gregory Sierra was Detective Sergeant Chiano. I'm not sure how you say his name. It's right there. But anyway, Steve Landisberg is Detective Sergeant Arthur Dietrich. And like I said, Ron Carey's Officer Carl Levitt. Barbara Gale played Barney Miller's wife, Elizabeth. And James Gregory, Inspector Frank Luger. Show was created by Danny Arnold and Theodore J. Flicker. And as I said, ran for 8 seasons. Now, one little side note, this show premiered in January of 1975, but that wasn't the first time Barney Miller was on TV. There was a pilot that never got sold called The Life and Times of Captain Barney Miller, but it did air as part of an anthology series called Just for Laughs, and it was sort of a hybrid. It's like half of Barney Miller's home life, and then half of it was at work, and he'd come back home afterwards. There wasn't a whole lot at the station. Anybody that's watched Barney Miller very much knows it's pretty much a one setup place. Most of it takes place in the squad room. There's a essay in here, salute to Barney Miller. Fairly long essay, as a matter of fact. Picture of like the first and second season cast, because while Barbara Berry was credited, I think she was credited during just the first season. After that, her and Barney were still married, and she would make an appearance every now and then. But she wasn't a regular on the show anymore because they decided they didn't want to focus on Barney's home life. They wanted to focus on the detectives. And then it's pretty comprehensive episode guide in here. Got little pictures, fish dressed up like a woman. Just all smiles. These must have been like publicity shots or something. Okay, the bonus features that are included, like I said, are just on the 8th season. I believe they recorded an audio commentary for one of the episodes. And I can't find it right now. Inside the 12th Precinct, the Barney Miller story, and like I said, the original pilot, The Life and Times of Barney Miller. It aired sometime in 1974. And Inside the Writer's Room. So that did give you a few bonus features. But like I said, seasons 1, 2, and 3 in here are the exact same discs as season 1, 2, and 3 that come out through Sony. Not real sure why this receipt is in here. If it was actually the receipt for Barney Miller, I might understand why it was in here, but oh, here it is. Some sticker shock as to how much I paid for this. Yeah, $115.89 or 99 cents. The total bill was $124.11. So this set was expensive. You can probably get it cheaper than that now, unless it's out of print, and then you probably couldn't even get it for that. But let's see, because I'm sure somebody recorded a commentary. Writer, producer interviews and commentary with some of the people that were involved the show, but I believe it's just on like 1 or 2 episodes of the 8th season, the final season. But as I said, this right here's one of my favorite cop shows, even though it's a sitcom. I'm not a huge fan of sitcoms, but I do like old sitcoms. And this one certainly qualifies. This show was running back during the bicentennial in 1976, so that added another element to it because they done a whole storyline about that, people acting all crazy and everything. But yeah, Barney Miller was a one-of-a-kind show, and it's worth checking out, especially if you like old TV shows. But that's all I've got. Till the next time, Clonopin and Crown out.